Hello, and welcome to Lough Key Forest Park. So Lough Key is one of my favourite places, and one of the places I actually personally visit the most often. And because of that, in my head I had shared Lough Key online loads, but I haven't made a video about it. So today I'm bringing you on a 5k-ish loop around the park to show you this beautiful place before winter fully hits. There was a storm last weekend, the first of the kind of autumn winter storms hit, and I was worried that all of the gorgeous leaves would be torn from the trees, but we just about have enough still clinging on. So hopefully this will still look beautiful and show the park off in one of my favourite seasons here. Okay, let's go. Lough Key Forest Park sits on the southern shores of its namesake, Lough Key, a large lake that looks smaller than it is, thanks to the dozen or so islands that are littered throughout. While this area was a stronghold of the MacDermott family from as early as 1184, it wasn't until the 17th century, when it was granted to the King family from England under the Cromwellian settlement, that the large mansion called Rockingham House was built, and the grounds were developed to create a picturesque estate, the remains of which are what we explore today. In 1957, the big house was destroyed by a fire, believed to have started from an electrical fault. The state took over the land in the late 1950s, and the remaining walls of the house were demolished in 1971. So one of my favourite things to do in old estates like this is to find all of the follies, I guess you could call them. But they weren't always follies. Little things, the things that were built at the time to look older than they were, to make the place either seem more grand or mystical or magical or whatever. And even having been in this park as many times as I have, I know I haven't found them all. There are still even just piers off of the islands and the mainland that just aren't normally accessible. There isn't a path to them, so it takes quite a bit to find them. But one thing that I'm going to bring you to now is what Carl and I call the wishing chair. I don't know if it has a more formal name. It certainly doesn't have a formal path. Here we are. Lough Key Forest Park is one of those quiet, magic places that draws you in with its beauty, lets you find comfort under the trees, and in the quiet, less trodden corners, reminds you that nature isn't something over there, but the web that we're all part of. MacDermott's Castle, or just simply the Rock, is probably the most famous element of the forest park. Adrift from the mainland, this castle, or a version of it at least, has existed there for over 800 years. Most of its surviving history is of the sieges won and lost against the island, with the place being overrun by fire several times. Much of what is visible today dates from the same time as when the manor house was built, and Castle Island was refurbished into part summer house, part folly. I'm gonna let you in on a Tough Souls bit of history. So the first time I was ever in the forest park was in 2017 when Carl and I were walking the Miners Way and Historical Trail here, and I fell in love with the place. It was such a perfect day, and right along here is the first time that Carl and I were ever recognised by somebody, by a stranger, as Tough Souls. And I think we had the whole, like, it was almost like reverse starstruck. We could not believe that somebody would have seen our videos about trails in Ireland at that point. We were so new to it all and so small. Yeah, so these trees will always hold that memory, which is kind of beautiful. Okay, so I'm coming towards the end of my day, and so I thought I would just chat about what happened. Yeah, so the route that I have walked today is somewhat a reverse of the Lough Key Park Run 5k route. It was probably closer to a 6 or 7k because I go the whole way into the visitor centre and the little offshoot to where I parked. So let's say it's a 6k loop. The main car park here is huge. You will always find parking there. It's €5 to park, but if you spend, I think, is it 20 quid in the visitor centre, you get your parking for free. Something like that. I genuinely feel so incredibly lucky to have this within driving distance of where I live. If you had asked me back in 2017 when I walked through here, did I ever think I would be living here? I would have been so surprised. But yeah, I find the northwest of Ireland is truly a bit of a hidden gem, which is why I really enjoyed the last little while making videos of Loch Mila, Glencar and Devil's Chimney, Ochre's Head, Queen Maeve's Trail, all these kind of less travelled but undeniably beautiful areas in the northwest. So hopefully one of the videos will have inspired you to check out this corner of the country. Yeah, because it really is very, very beautiful here. As always, a huge thank you to everyone who supports Tough Souls on Patreon. It's because of their support that I can keep making videos, and yeah, it's something I absolutely love to do. I feel very, very lucky to be living life right now. So yeah, thank you to everyone on Patreon so much, and I'll see you in our next video. The watch has died, the main camera has died. Good on you, little GoPro. Thank God you're still going.